What's up, Fight Fam? This is the 6th episode of the Boxing Bros podcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and I just want to remind you, you can catch our video segments on YouTube under Boxing Bros USA. And I'm Caden, and I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on? This is Trill.
And this is G.
That's right. And we want to send some love to Ned, the cameraman.
Ned, get better soon, homie.
All right.
That's right, man. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, but we're going to dive in. The first topic we're going to discuss today is Claressa Shields versus Ivana Habazin. This fight was supposed to take place last year, but due to the unfortunate altercation between Claressa Shields' brother and the trainer Brazier, in which Brazier was viciously sucker punched or sucker attacked in some way, shape, or fashion, this fight was canceled. It's back on. It's taking place December 10th. And so I want to say, Trill, what are your thoughts on that? And what are your predictions for that fight?
Oh, you said December 10th?
I meant January. If I said December, I apologize, everyone. It is early in the morning, and I didn't get much sleep.
Oh, yeah, no, we forgot to say Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year from the Boxing Bros.
From the Boxing Bros.
Again, it's early morning, and I didn't get much sleep. Trill, what's your thoughts on that?
I got Claressa Shields winning by decision.
That's all you got for me? I know that can't be all you got for me, Trill. That can't be all you got for me, Trill.
I thought you the women's boxing ambassador.
I don't have nothing to say about this one. I usually do, but I just want to see how Claressa Shields handles this fight afterwards, after the fight. I think she's going to win, but I want to see how she handles the post-fight press conference and interview. So I don't want to say nothing. I've been very harsh. Listen, I always liked Claressa Shields as far as boxing goes. My problem with her was how the things she was saying and doing outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? So as far as boxing goes, if we talk about boxing, I think she's going to win. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
G?
I mean,
Got new teeth.
I was going to say Claressa was going to win by knockout, but, you know what I mean, I could rock with decision also. But Homegirl's trainer, is he back or is he still in recovery?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I know he's out of the hospital.
Do we know who's replacing him?
We don't know.
Yeah, so it's safe to say I got Claressa by knockout.
Well, I guess that just leaves me, this is a very difficult situation for me because I don't like what unfolded with the trainer Brazier, but at the same time, I was noticing improvements from Claressa in the ring.
Yes.
Her performance with Christina Hammer and her personality, I feel like she's becoming more bubbly, and I don't want to say that like in a sense that being bubbly is the way to be. When I say more bubbly, I just mean like enjoying life. She seemed very guarded. She seemed very aggressive. And if you know her story, you would understand why she was that way. But life has been getting better for her. She's been accomplishing things. And she seemed like she's been changing into a more appreciative and mature person up until this incident. And initially, I was very frustrated because of Claressa Shields creating a scenario where her brother could mess up the money. Then I thought about her age. I thought about myself at that age. I probably would want my brother to see me shining, right? I probably wouldn't be smart enough to think about this dude can mess up the bag. This dude would mess up the bag. Hell, this is a true story. Now, I wasn't that age, though. I was a lot younger. Trill knows this story. My brother, who was known for not doing anything, the laziest guy you want to know, I don't even know if I should tell this story. I'm thinking about it.
He's watching.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
He's watching.
I I don't know if I should tell this story.
Listen to this episode.
I don't know if I should tell the story. Now I think about it. Let's just say I made a bad decision that put me in harm's way, right? And from that point on, I learned that you can love your brother, but you can't put yourself in certain situations with your brother. But I think Clarissa Shields just learned that a little too late. I learned that, at a younger age. But with that being said, I've seen her at the fights. I've seen her having fun. One of my favorite things to do is to look at Clarissa Shields' story feed while the fights are taking place. Because she's lit. Like, she's live. She's there. She's funny. She's hilarious. Like, I like following her feed during the fight. So I hope she wins. I hope she does a classy thing. I hope this blows over because I really want to see Clarissa Shields be successful. That's how I feel about the situation. And most importantly, I hope she learned from this.
So are we going to do official predictions? Or?
Yeah, I predicted Clarissa Shields, obviously. I mean, you.
No, I'm just saying that we're going to make it official.
Official predictions for this fight. Go ahead, Trevor.
Clarissa wins decision.
Yeah, I got Clarissa by knockout.
I got Clarissa. I don't care how. All right, so the next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is there has been a Twitter beef between Gervonta Davis and Terrence Crawford. And this Twitter beef is one in which Terrence Crawford is basically pointing out that Tank Davis didn't look impressive. He's telling him, he should stay away from certain fighters. Tanks came back at Terrence Crawford, to which Terrence Crawford is like, basically, you beat a dude who's hobbled. You beat a guy who was old and he had 1 foot. And so, so pulling this up.
This fucking guy. This freaking guy.
You right, bro?
Nah, I'm thinking to myself, I was thinking about myself with TC.
Yeah, so basically he said Tank fought a 38 out of his prime fighter, Gamboa, with a torn Achilles and barely KO'd him. That's what Crawford said on Twitter. Gamboa hadn't fought in a meaningful fight since me in 2014. And after that, he got stopped by a guy with 12 losses. And y'all making it seem like he did something spectacular. That's what Crawford said. And Gervonta Davis responded by saying, "I'm glad you're okay. Thank you. Can you tell them what you told me after the fight?" Oh, he was talking about Gamboa. That's like because Gamboa responded and said, "Just to set the record straight, I knew I had snapped my tendon in the second round, but I instructed my corner to tape my ankle so I could continue. I refused to quit, and I wanted to keep fighting through my injury. My corner followed my wishes, heart of a lion." And he did post a picture of his foot, and he was in the hospital. He really was injured, and he really did keep fighting. So, Trill, what's your thoughts on Terrence Crawford taking a shot at Terrence Crawford taking a shot at Gervonta Tank Davis?
There's a lot of sucker stuff going on over there at Top Rank. Like, dog, he's not even in your weight class. He's not even in your division. Like, yo, bro, like, he's not even on your radar. Y'all not even going to be fighting each other no times. Why you need to be focusing on why you ain't fighting Danny and these guys. This is what you need to be talking about. You talk about you weighing in on this guy's fight. You have no dog in that fight. You shouldn't even have no opinion in that fight. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might as well have start clapping like that, like Timmy was. You dig what I'm saying? Like, like for real. Like, if anything, like, why you worried about who this guy should be facing and who he should be fighting? You should be worried about who you should be facing and who you should be fighting. Talking about like we can't go across the street and we can't fight across these guys across the street. Well, Tyson Fury's doing it.
Andy Ruiz, Joshua,
they doing it. Like
Maurice Hooker and Ramirez
did it. Like, well, listen, this is all I'm saying with this fight is this. Instead of going out your way, you know what I'm saying, right, Twitter. Twitter.
Hey.
Twitter rants.
That hasn't come out yet.
I know.
She said, I know.
That was a plug-in. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of going at a rant or atting Tank, going out your way, at Earl, at Keith, at Manny, at Danny, at these other welterweights that is across the street that ESPN guys can't fight. You know what I'm saying?
And just to tell Gervonta Davis' response, he said the same guy Gamboa touched you up the first 4 to 5 rounds, and you was the bigger guy, and he hurt you. I never lost one round. He barely touched me, and I moved up in weight.
And exactly.
That was his response to.
And that's what I didn't even get to that part.
And then he said, Gervonta Davis also said, it took Crawford 12 rounds to KO. Benavidez was shot in the leg 8 times and hasn't been in the ring for a year before the fight. And then his last fight, he got worked by a guy who wasn't even a champion.
It hasn't even, and Benavidez did that for a check. He hasn't been in there since. He hasn't been in there since. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like let's just keep it real. Like, both of these guys got a horrible Gamboa. Gamboa's been fighting off the strength of his name. You know what I'm saying? Even in that loss, he wasn't training in that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just to add to that, Devin Haney posted a picture of Gamboa when he was really young and in his prime. And Devin Haney was just like a little boy. Devin had to be like 8 to 10, like 12 max, but he looked real young. And Devin Haney was like, this is with the real Gamboa. Like, this is a picture of Gamboa when Gamboa was Gamboa. Like, something like that is what he wrote.
You know
like,
what
yeah,
I'm
so.
like, it's a difference. Like, you fought a guy coming up 2 weight classes. You know what I'm saying? And he still hurt you, TC. Now, he was in a fight with Tank. Tank hit him with some heavy joints and couldn't get him out of there. And he was still hurt. Like, I give him that. But you didn't do nothing too greater. You dig what I'm saying? And you calling out, why are you even mentioning Tank? Why are you even calling Tank? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, why are you even...
Like
what does the caption say?
He said, young Dev and Gamboa in his prime.
Exactly. That's basically what this is what I'm saying. Like, you going out your way, like, that's sucker. You're being a sucker now. Like, you're doing, like, now I'm going to pick on everything every PBC fighter do. I'm going to have something to say about what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. Sit back, go training. You know what I'm saying? Because you look horrible against the Mean Machine. You know
Kavalaskis.
Yeah, go back into the drawing board and talk and pick on somebody your own size. Or go up and pick on somebody at 154. Since you don't want to be in there, you know what I'm saying? Fight. Go take Mangawi's. Who's one of these guys' belts? Go up to 154. You know what I'm saying? You could do something. Go to 154 or something. Pick on somebody else that's in your weight class. Or go say you want to fight Lomachenko. Pick on Lomachenko. Say, Lomachenko, you ain't fight nobody. You don't got nobody a good name under your resume. You got Linares, who is beaten by Antonio DeMarco, who Ronan knocked out in 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Won't you beat him? Because Linares dropped you. You know what I'm saying? Like, won't you do that?
Because he's in a stable. You know what I mean? So he's not going to do that.
Come on, like, just stay with like, at least stick with the people that you're on. You going out your way to talk about this guy is crazy. It's crazy.
I'll say this. I actually agree with Trill, but I'm going to play devil's advocate for a quick second. I think...
I'm not walking with you.
I say walk with me, but I know I'm going to say something crazy. On this one, this is what I honestly believe. I feel like Terrence Crawford is clout chasing, where you're doing that because right now, Tank is bubbling on Twitter, right? So you making that comment, people are gonna go and look at you. So strategically, it makes sense at this moment, and it's kind of like up and coming rappers do that all the time. Even though I'm not saying TC's an up and coming rapper, he's already solidified, right? But
he's an up and coming rapper.
But he like when you see somebody else shining, like they got what you want,
like I said,
you just call them out. Yeah, you just call them out, knowing that it's like, why are you doing that right now? But it's a hater move that could benefit you in the future. I think that's what he's doing. And then 2, another way I'm looking at it is, what if he could kind of set up a fight between him and Tank at a catch weight. You know, like maybe something like that, because it would be beneficial
he
for both
would.
men.
He would
That's what I'm
want to
saying.
fight
That's
Tank.
Pickens.
Nah,
Like,
he would want to
Pickens
fight
for him.
Tank over them other guys.
No, facts. Even though it's again what Trill was saying, it's a sucker move, but it would be a good look for him. It would be a name on his resume. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, fanboy Bradley would definitely be.
hey, you know, fanboy Bradley will start.
This makes him number one. This makes him number one.
You know, so that's how I'm looking at it. But I do agree with you. Like, come on, man. Like, you shouldn't say anything, especially after that. You literally struggled with a man that had one leg. Like, literally got shot in the leg, and you were struggling to take him out. So you shouldn't be a hypocrite on, in regards to Tank versus Gamboa. So I have to believe my man's just trying to set up something where it becomes profitable for him.
And better be, he's in the streets. He don't box. He in the streets for real.
She might move on to rappers and ball players, but we all know I did it first. I did it first. That was the pettiness that Terrence Crawford was doing. Well, he was, I did it first. I did it first. That's what he was. It was just corny, man. You know what it is? Did Tank look the best? No. I got on Tank about that. I question Tank's dedication to the sport. I think he could have done a better job if he would have trained and taken the fight seriously. I'm assuming he didn't because he didn't make weight and he was moving up in weight. He looked tired. He looked gassed. He looked like he had to conserve energy to go 12 rounds. That's my assessment of Tank. Do I think Tank did a good job? No, I do not. Do I think Terrence Crawford did a good job? No, I do not. Gamboa moved up and outboxed him, and TC eventually got him out of there. We're not talking about Gamboa in his prime. Neither one of them got a prime Gamboa. They got a Gamboa on the decline. And another thing that's true, I don't know how good Gamboa was when Tank got him because he tore his Achilles tendon in the second round and still fought like a warrior to the 11th. This man almost went 12 with a torn Achilles tendon. I played basketball yesterday, like 10 games, and my Achilles is sore, and I stayed in the bed because I didn't even want to walk on it, okay? This man fought 11 rounds with that. So I don't want to hear anything from Terrence Crawford, which brings me to the next point. Terrence Crawford has turned into the dude who has a lot to say with a resume that doesn't back up the things that he's saying. So, Terrence Crawford, you fought Amir Khan on pay-per-view and had one of the worst showings and sells that I've ever seen in the history of the sport. What you did in your first pay-per-view fight was so bad, you were right back to fighting on ESPN Plus, my brother. Why don't you talk about that? For all this bigging you up that they do, they gloss over the true facts. They gloss over that. Meanwhile, Tank probably did better numbers than you in his fight with Gamboa than when you had your fight with Gamboa, and this is years after your fight. And a Gamboa who's not as good. Why? Because Tank is more popular than you. Instead of hating on Tank, why don't you look in the mirror and figure out, why is this guy more popular than me? Why is this guy getting more love for beating a guy that I beat when the guy was better at the time that I beat him? That's what this is all about. You mad he's getting more love than you for beating a guy that you beat first. Ray J. TC.
That deserves a Timothy Bradley dolphin clap.
Like, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So you hating. Yo, if you had some fair criticism or some fair assessment or whatever, it's cool. But you know what? I can't recall. Maybe I gotta look it up. But I don't think Tank said anything after Kavaliauskas dropped you. I don't think Tank said anything after you looked bad in your performance. The only people who were riding with TC after that performance were people who had to because they dug their own grave by bigging him up before that fight. Because I heard certain people calling TC the boogeyman, pushing him as the boogeyman. You can't tell me you watched that Kavaliauskas fight.
He wasn't the boogeyman.
And you
mean
feel
Samantha Bradley?
not just him. I mean, like, people who have like their own YouTube channel. And once again, I don't get on people who have their YouTube. I respect everyone and everyone's opinion, but you can't lie like you watched that Kavalauskas fight and you were like, yo, this dude is the number one. He's going to take out Dini. He's going to take out Sean. He's going to take out Earl. And now this man's talking about it make no sense for him to fight Sean Porter.
We, on our predictions, we had TC going in here and murdering the Mean Machine. Like he didn't have a gift or a prayer, and it wasn't that.
He dropped him. And if you want to be real,
and it would have been a different fight if they would have gave him credit for that drop. He would have fought a little differently. You dig what I'm
and Max Kellerman even brought it up. Like, he got dropped. Like, no one, he says no one admitted, people admitted. TC got dropped. TC, you got dropped, man.
By the Mean Machine.
You got dropped by Kavalauskas. So why you worried about what Tank's doing? Like I said, man.
You need to worry about what your chin doing.
Exactly.
My B. Okay, if that ain't holding up to the Mean Machine, you think that's gonna hold up to a Danny? You think that your shit's gonna hold up to
the no-look hook? You think
hook?
you gonna stand up to the no-look hook?
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. That one time hit you one time.
Yo, Danny should sell them shirts.
The one-look hook, the no-look hook, that'll be the no-look hook, that'll be what's up.
Listen, if there's a couple punches across the street, you know what? If I was you, TC, listen, I know I said it was some sucker stuff, but you know what? Let me hold this, G. Let me hold this real quick. Yeah, TC, pick on the little guy. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because that's the only name you going to get from over across the street that you can beat. Because for you not to mention those other guys in your weight class and go out to there and go in on Tank like that, you trying to make that, it's like you trying to make that a fight. You trying to spark something over there and start a fight. You know what I'm saying? And so you can be like, oh, make that fight. I beat Tank. And then Timmy over there with the extra drinks is gonna be over there like I told you. We had to take out Tank to let them know.
I'm telling you guys, I didn't want to say this, but he would beat Sugar Ray Robinson. He would beat Sugar Ray Robinson.
You see what he did to Tank?
He took Tank out.
I'm gonna go out there and say him and Iron Mike in his prime. TC. Timmy was like, the way he switches, he can go southpaw on Mike.
I didn't want to say this. But the same way George Foreman fought 5 fighters in one night, you can take the best 5 PBC fighters and TC could beat them all.
In one night. Yes. Oh my goodness, these guys are delusional.
All right, well, since we're talking about Fanboy Bradley, we might as well move on to the Fanboy Bradley topic. So, Fanboy Bradley wrongfully roped Andre Ward into a situation that he should have never been a part of when he said that, well, first he agreed with the statement by some other guy, I'm not even going to name him. He said that he believes Alexander Usyk is going to beat Anthony Joshua and take his titles in 2020, to which Timothy Bradley started clapping with some excitement, gave him a pound, and then Andre Ward responded by saying, what? Like, y'all just gonna give him the title? And then Andre Ward asked Timothy Bradley, who's gonna beat Anthony Joshua? And then Timothy Bradley said, Alexander Usyk. And then he dapped the guy up, and then they were chuckling and giggling and just, in fanboy heaven after that. But then around the YouTube world, the YouTube stratosphere, people were saying Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward. It's no and Andre Ward. It's only Timothy Bradley back on his fanboy. And so, Trill, what's your thoughts on Timothy Bradley being back on his fanboy?
Poor Andre Ward. Poor Ward. Poor Ward. Ward went into this podcast thinking it's going to be even. He was outnumbered. He went in there, thinking, and he ended up, this is when you watch anybody, I want anybody to watch it. This is when they say, you're the only real one in the building. You know that feeling when you're the only real one? You know what I'm saying? That was that feeling that Andre Ward got. You know what I'm saying? He had to sit back. Poor Andre had to sit back and shake his head like, "Oh, you serious?" He had one of those. You serious right now? He looked at him like, "You doing this right now?" You know what I'm saying? Like you like when your girls show out in public. You know what I'm saying? You look at her like you do. Oh, you doing this?
We doing this.
We doing this right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Ward had to look at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Samantha was going, she's losing her mind. Like, she really is. She had a couple of drinks and started showing off with her girls. Excuse me, with the whole other analysts. And then like, and Ward's like, oh, we doing this now? This is what we doing. Poor Ward, man. Poor Ward. And Timmy, like I said this 2 weeks ago, I really think that you need to sit down for a couple of fights and really just get something together. Something's going on in your life, man, because you're just... You didn't even say Tyson Fury is going to be him. You didn't say...
Deontay Wilder
is going to be him next. You didn't even say...
Pulev. I mean, I don't even. I mean, I think it's crazy, but you crazy. But Pulev.
You went and said the cruiserweight champion.
Yo, you know what's crazy? When you listen to that clip, Andre Ward. Remember, and I was like, Andre Ward stating the obvious, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, whoever's gonna win between Tyson Fury and Wilder, that's going to be the person that's most likely going to defeat AJ. Like, that makes sense.
He didn't even say that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That's not what he said. He never said they were going to defeat AJ. That's your hope and dream.
No.
He said after that fight, there's going to be an undisputed heavyweight champion.
So what that means is it's going to be most likely one of those guys. In his mind,
never said that he thinks they're going to win. He just said...
I agree with that. Point of clarification. Yeah. What I'm saying is...
I don't want to be one of those guys misrepresent Andre Ward.
It never even factored in Andre Ward's mind.
Usyk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, what'd you just say?
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was.
What they say? It's Usyk.
I said you. Listen. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I mess up his name all the time. You know what I'm saying? Usyk.
Nah, I'm with you.
He ain't beating AJ.
If AJ's
no matter what his
losing,
name is.
It's not to. If AJ's losing, you got to be mentioned one of the top tier proven guys. You got to be talking
about. At least a guy that done been fighting.
You got to be talking about Dillian. You talking about Wilder. You talking about Fury. You talking about like those guys.
Being Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, Andy. You ain't talking about.
And what I would say is this, right? What Andre Ward did is kind of like, he reminds me of like me, right? On the boxing road. I disagree with y'all. And I'm like, oh, really? And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear as day I disagree. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, oh, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just leave it at that. Like, I think he did the same thing. And it's where it's like, I disagree with y'all, but hey, man, y'all got your own opinions.
He even said, come on. Yeah. That's what he said before.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I usually don't do this, but I take offense because on the Boxing Bros, Trill and I, we're usually always right. So that you can't compare us to Timothy Bradley.
I'm not saying like that. What I'm just saying is, you know, when you disagree with somebody, you just like, yo, I disagree. But you can argue or you can be like,
I'm just saying, man, I don't want to be compared to fanboy Bradley anyway.
You know why? You know why I don't want to be? You know what I'm saying? Because if you watch our show, I actually think before I speak. You know what I'm saying? Even if I use a joke to cover up what I'm really trying to say. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I just can't come out right out and say what I want to say because it'll come off a little bit harsh. So I'll use a joke to try to cover it up. But I think about what I say before I say it because I really love this sport. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to disrespect any fight. Even though if I might have my favorites, I don't want to disrespect any fighter because I love this sport so much. I don't want to disrespect the sport. You know what I'm saying? Of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go off of emotions. Like, it's been times like I want to go off of emotions and I'll say something, but then I'll be like, but this is what it really is because I respect the sport of boxing. You dig what I'm saying? And Timothy Bradley, to me, is not respecting the sport of boxing. Like, it's cool where you can have your favorites, you can have your opinion, but when you trying to push it as this is law, like these guys are scared You know what I'm saying? And this one is the guy that's gonna beat this because of just where you work at. You're disrespecting the sport.
Yo, Betrell, play devil's advocate.
You know what I'm saying?
Promoters do that all the time.
Promoters. He's not that guy. He's supposed to call the
but
fight.
That's what I just said. What I just said. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's in a position as a former fighter. I have never seen like this. Have been other fighters that have been, but they have to keep it real. They won't do it to themselves. Like Roy. There's been times with Roy, he knew what it was. He's not going to disrespect another fighter, you know what I'm saying, to push the company's narrative. Yeah. But he would help the company's narrative. He ain't going to just over-exhort the other people, but he's not going to dog them because his love and respect for the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? The same with like Paulie. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to Paulie. Paulie will openly disagree.
You know what I'm saying? With the commentators that's going
with the rest of the
and he's gonna cut. Yeah, he's gonna be fair. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta respect Paulie for that. Even sometimes if it's just his opinion, it's not. I don't agree with Paulie all the time, but I respect Paulie
exactly
because I know Paulie acts like somebody that loves the sport. He respects the sport. You dig what I'm saying? Like
Paulie doesn't say his opinion like it's law either.
Yeah,
like Paulie just says like his opinion, like that's it. This is my opinion.
What you just say?
Yeah.
Like it's law. That's what makes me go at Timothy Bradley the way I do. Because he spits it like it's law. And he's telling the people that could be just random people, like we were just saying, ESPN, that's for regular people that watch sports. So say your sport is not boxing. And you was just watching baseball, and then this comes on right after that. You hear his rant. You was just watching golf or whatever you was watching, and you hear him.
And you believe it because they're the professionals.
Him.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, they're supposed to be the experts. So you're like, I guess Usyk's that dude. You know?
You know.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what they pushing.
Yeah.
That's what they pushing.
Not the pay-per-view revenue. I don't get involved in that. However, Usyk will win 2 of the 4 belts. He will beat Anthony Joshua in the latter half of 2020. Come on. That is
Bradley clapping.
The heavyweight championship. First, Joshua will beat Pulev for the IBF, and then he'll fight Usyk, and he will lose.
I'm right with you.
And if you saw him against Ruiz,
I'm right with you.
He can outbox Ruiz, but he ain't gonna outbox
Absolutely. I'm right with you, Kriegel. Absolutely. 2020, I was thinking that Joshua was gonna lose his titles. He's going to lose his titles in 2020.
To who, though?
Usyk.
Okay.
Usyk. He's the mandatory.
Okay.
He's the mandatory. He's going to beat Pulev, but Usyk, just like you said, he's going to be outboxed. I'm with you on that. He's losing his titles.
Let me throw this out there for a bold prediction.
So you tell me when you heard Andre Ward say,
"Come on,
he's going to," if you watch it, because hearing it is one thing, but you have to see Andre Ward's face, you have to see his reaction, you have to see he's not on board with the statements that's being made.
As soon as that dude said that Yusuf was going to be AJ, Andre Ward said, "Come on."
He did. He said, "Come on, man," but you can't really hear it. And you look at his face. He made that hood face.
Like
when you put your lips up,
like,
when you're like, "Come on, man."
Like,
and then
he said, "Who's gonna?"
And then he said, "Who's gonna beat him?" And he said, "Usyk." Now I'll agree with G on this. Andre Ward would have accepted 2 names. Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. When he said Usyk, that's when he said,
I don't know I'm on this.
If I told you that someone was going to beat Fury, if I told you someone was going to beat Wilder, you're looking for 2 names. If I said someone's going to beat Wilder, you're looking for Fury or you're looking for Joshua.
Yeah,
if I told you someone's going to beat Fury, you're looking for Wilder or you're looking for Joshua.
It's just
you're not looking for any other names with these guys. This is a 3-headed monster.
They might as well have said, "Daniel Boy." You know what I mean? Hey, what? Usyk? You talking about Usyk?
Usyk is not in this conversation, yo. He still got some development to do.
I know what Andre Ward was thinking. Because Andre Ward's a part of that same machine. Because Andre Ward was beating guys left and right, and Triple G was still the #1 pound for pound. And Andre Ward was thinking like, damn, what I got to do to be #1 pound for pound? He only had to beat Sergey Kovalev, the other guy they was promoting as the boogeyman and Mr.
Andre
Indestructible.
Ward should have been #1 anyway because he did it in different weight classes.
Oh, we already know this.
He only stayed in one weight class.
We already know this.
He still refuses to go to 168. You can't call yourself a great if you're not going to go up.
One guy so loved, he getting decisions over guys who clearly beat him. Derevianchenko beat that man, and you know he beat that boy.
Yeah.
Now that's a real thing right there. So, but in all fairness to Timothy Bradley, man, nah, I can't even. There's nothing I can say. Yeah. It's like I've been saying. I'll continue to say this. You just got to be careful, man, because you're jumping out the window for ESPN. You're jumping out the window for Top Rank. But remember, they're not the only jobs in town.
I'm jumping out the window right now. I'm going to jump out the window right now, and I'm going to say something right now. You know the only way Yusuf is going to win, you know why they say they're going to win? Because they figure if they're going to fight, they're going to fight somewhere in Russia, and they ain't going to put the steroids clause in the contracts. You know what I'm saying? Since we jumping out the window.
But Usyk don't knock nobody out like that.
Look, that's the only way he going to start taking roids for this fight. Timmy knows that's why Timmy said that. I'm jumping out the window. Since he want to jump out the window, then everybody, everybody, because Yusuf is
still a long walk.
Walk with me.
G ain't never had a long walk like that. That's a long hike.
G said that's longer than a walk.
Listen, that's the Timmy walk. That's the Timmy walk.
Oh, Timmy's walks.
That's the Timmy walk. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's gonna talk like that, then I'm gonna talk like that.
I just want to say this, like for me, and I said this if you watch like our video. Alexander Usyk had one fight in the heavyweight division. He fought Chaz Witherspoon. I haven't seen that man in years. They took Chaz Witherspoon. I don't know what couch they plucked him from, put him in the ring, and you could see, he owned like a car wash or something, right? He was cleaning rims when they got this man, right? And so
grab the tail.
Alexander Usyk didn't beat Chaz Witherspoon. Fatigue did. I watched that fight, and I watched that fight in great anticipation because I kept hearing, oh, Alexander Usyk can beat Deontay Wilder. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to believe it. I wanted to come in Boxing Bros like, and gee, another thing. But I watched that fight like Wilder would kill this man. Like I couldn't even lie. G was like texting, Wilder would kill this man. I wanted to be like, I can't even say he wouldn't. Like, I wanted to hate, but I couldn't say nothing. I was just like, whatever.
You know why? You know why? Because you respect boxing. And that's what we was talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was like, he right, why they kill him? Whatever. Now, it's his first fight in the heavyweight. It's his first fight in the heavyweight division. We don't need to rush him. But then I find out he's the number one mandatory for I believe the WBO. And I'm like, man,
already?
Yeah, he's number one.
He came in. He was supposed to be.
Yeah,
he came in for the WBC though. Because remember when he was wearing the WBC joint, so he should have been.
He's already the mandatory. So Joshua got to fight either him or Kubrat Pulev. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what has this guy done? You know, he beat Michael Hunter when they were cruiserweights. But Michael Hunter moved up to heavyweight. And since moving up to heavyweight, Michael Hunter has had a number of impressive performances. Even in his first round against Povetkin was unbelievable. Like, I thought, man, he about to get Povetkin out of there. I still believe Povetkin used smelling salts over there in Saudi Arabia. If you watch that fight and you look in the second round when they go in the corner, it more than look like Vaseline. Why would Vaseline be near his nose like that? They just take a look at it. But anyways, they fought to a draw. It is what it is. What has Alexander Usyk done in the heavyweight division? Why is he getting all this acclaim? Why is he the number one mandatory? Why are they saying he can beat a man who's a two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world with victories over a number of fighters in the top 10? Tell me why. I don't know. I can't understand it. But fanboy Bradley, you know, whatever comes to you because you done jumped out the window for a company that's going to throw you out the window at some point. And when they throw you out the window, PBC's not going to get you, the Zone's not going to get you because you burnt bridges.
You're going to be working at Chaz Witherspoon's car wash.
Chaz ain't going to even hire him.
He ain't going to hire him. He might even like drive the cars, Timmy.
Adrian, the problem. Broner has a problem. It's going around social media.
Another problem.
Adrian, another problem. Broner. AP. He has another problem. Apparently, Adrian Broner slid into the DMs of a 16-year-old Instagram model.
No, it's a rapper.
Oh, she's a rapper?
She was. She's the Catch Me Outside.
Yo,
girl.
she was the girl that was
Dr.
on
Phil.
what's that talk show, Dr. Phil. Yeah,
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
that's why
Yo, I
I'm
gotta
like,
be real with you. I don't even know these kids or these rappers
Yo,
anymore.
I didn't know she was a rapper, but I remember her from the
Now she
Dr.
Bad
Phil
Baby.
thing.
I don't.
That's
Yo,
her rap
listen.
name.
I am.
Daniel Bagoli.
He was
That's her real
wild.
name.
I'll say this. I honestly believe. At first, I was like, maybe Adrian Broner didn't know. But I'm like, stop it, bro. She became famous because of the Dr. Phil thing, and she clear as day looked like a little child. You know what I mean? So it's like that was probably like maybe 5 years ago. You know, so what age is Broner? Like he's probably like 29, 30.
I don't know. Yeah, he's in that range. We'll
Yeah,
say.
so, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I want to believe that he didn't know, but I'm like, fam, like, come on. How hard is it to look it up? Like, she's famous. You could literally just do like a Wikipedia search on her or a Google search and find her age, you know? So, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and pretend my man didn't know.
What? That don't make no sense. Either he knew or he didn't know. Yeah, Adrian 30. Trill dollar bill.
Yeah, here she is right here. She got music up. She raps. She got joints with Lil Yachty and Kodak Black and all these ones. She's a rapper or whatever. But anyways, listen, poor Adrian Broner.
I mean, she looks young, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Looking at this video,
I'm not gonna talk
Yeah,
about.
I can't.
I'm not-
I mean, you know what? She look young. Megan Thee Stallion look. I mean,
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
moving. I look. Hey, listen. People look certain ways. I'm not gonna talk about Lizzo. I mean, leaving stuff alone. This the way this world is going. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, listen. This is how they do all these little girls. They try to make.
They make them all look older.
Can I tell you a story?
But they've been doing that though.
Yeah,
if you look at Brandy, you look at Monica, you look at all that. They've been doing that.
But it was a little different. Like I agree, but now it's to the point where they giving this little girl fake, you know what I'm saying, stuff, prosthetics, and the skimpier clothes and all that. At least back then with the Monicas and Brandy, they had them clothed up, but they was, talk about older content, but they had them covered up. You know what I'm saying?
They had them covered up, but they had them with a 30-year-old makeup job.
Yeah. Yeah, but now they're giving these young girls fake prosthetics, and you know what I'm saying now, and it's to the point where how they got these young people acting. Listen, I went shopping with my daughter, and it is the as a father, right? It's the worst thing ever. To get to the point where I'm like, you're just gonna have to go with your mother because we're not gonna agree on nothing. You know what I'm saying? How they make the clothes for the girls, they don't even give them a chance to dress anything other way. Even the hoodies, you go in the hoodie section, all the hoodies was like crop top. You go to how they make the shorts. I'm like, where all the Bermuda shorts at? You know what I'm saying? They got all the.
You know what's worse?
What?
Go to Rainbows. You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is crazy for the clothing is crazy. I'm like, yo, what's the dad to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna have to start making my own clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Trill's clothing line for young ladies.
For young ladies.
Put this comforter on.
With the comforter, we put two comforters together and
Yo,
we'll
babe,
sew it
where's my
up.
tablecloth?
There may be a market for that. For daddies who still take their little girls shopping and care about what they wear.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Come to Trills.
Yeah, come to Trills. You know what I'm saying? Bring your comforters. You know what I'm saying? I got some duct tape comforters. You know what I'm saying? The kids will be all right. Because I seen one thing too. Like, I was outside, and with my mans, and a little girl walked by. Me and my man, we just having a normal conversation, and the guys that were working outside in the building, they're gawking at this little girl with these leggings on. And I was like, if they would have seen the little girl that walked past, she was a little girl. You dig? It was a little baby. She couldn't have been like no more than like 13, 14, little girl, and they're gawking at her whistling. I'm like, this is a little girl that just got off the school bus if you guys was paying attention. But then I couldn't get too mad at him because I'm like, why is she wearing this? This is inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? For a little girl to be dressing like this, and then I look at it like it's a sister situation. AB's messed up, regardless, because you're in this culture. You know about Danielle Bergoli. You know what I'm saying? Even I know. You know what I'm saying? Like you listen to rap music. You listen to the Kodak Blacks. You know about, and like into AB saying, I thought she was moving like she was older. I get it, AB, but you got to understand what the other people are gonna say. You know what I'm saying? It's just messed up the world. But hey, as far as boxing goes, I can't speak about the world. As far as boxing goes, AB, man, just concentrate on getting with Freddie. I was talking to Caden. That's the only person that can save his career right now. He need to get with Freddie and focus on boxing, because these actions are starting to really, I don't know. Let's get AB about boxing instead of about problems.
Yeah, so I just want to start off by saying this. I think we're in a society and in a culture where you have to be very aware and very alert when you make decisions and when you do certain things. And, just to touch on something, it doesn't matter what anyone's wearing. You have to check yourself first. Mm-hmm. And so I know for myself, I've seen outfits that I think certain people shouldn't be wearing. Maybe it doesn't compliment a figure, in my opinion. But there's somebody out there like it. Like if you look at Friday After the Next or whatever it was, when he was like, "When you gonna shave that mustache?" Don't worry, I know somebody like it. You know what I'm saying? And she probably telling the truth too. So I look at it as it is what it is. Like this world's this world, different strokes for different folks. And so I'm not the one to tell people what to do. But it is a two-way street. So
Monique said her man likes her hairy legs. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
There's a market for everything.
Yeah, and it is what it is. And I think where you see where things get complicated is where two worlds collide, right? Where two points of view collide. And I'll give you an example. Just their marriages end, relationships end because people grow apart. Because two ends of the spectrum start to collide. Maybe when a couple got together, say it was a man and a woman, and they got together, the woman used to shave her legs. But then she decides, I'm not shaving my legs anymore. Society, whatever it is, empowerment to herself. She's not going to shave. She's not going to shave her legs. And then the guy you were shaving your legs when I got with you. Well, now I'm not. And if you love me, then you want me to shave my legs. Well, I wouldn't have loved you if you had hairy legs. So now, it's like I said, it collides. Now, if having hairy legs empowers her, right? Who is the man to tell her to shave the legs? But at the same time, who are you to tell him he needs to be with you with your hairy legs, right? So it's where worlds collide, right? So I say that to say an outfit, right, can be worn if it empowers. Like if wearing a certain outfit makes someone feel beautiful, makes someone feel sexy, makes someone feel handsome, makes someone feel good about his or herself, more power to you. But at the same time, that outfit may make someone else, but it's not to say you shouldn't wear what makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. I would say to the person who reacts a certain way, you probably should check yourself, but at the same time, everyone's not me. So if I saw I see it all the time. If I see someone wearing something that I think is suspect, I don't even look. Because I know that's what they're looking for. Whether be it revealing, be it some sort of outrageous type of thing you wouldn't normally see put together, some weird ensemble, I don't even look. I just walk by the person like they don't exist. I'm not going to dignify your situation with a reaction. And that would even offend some folks, but hey, it is what it is. It's my eyes, I look where I want. You can't get at me for not looking. But to go at AB now, he said the way she's moving, people raise their kids differently. It's just the way it is. People raise their kids differently. We have a documentary that shows that surviving R. Kelly, right? And you just see certain decisions where they try to make people feel bad for questioning what parents did, but people do different things with their child, with their kids. I know myself, I don't have any kids, but if I did, they couldn't move the way some of these kids was. I wouldn't tolerate that, and didn't you hear like Master P say what he said about it and whatever. The world is just different. But when you're Adrian Broner, you are obligated to protect Adrian Broner. When you are Adrian Broner, you have to make sure nothing happens that could bring down Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner already has a settlement for $800,000 for a kiss.
That's an expensive kiss.
Yeah, so Adrian Broner should have learned from that. And so I think the whole slide in the DM, you couldn't verify this girl's age before you slid in the DM. I mean,
AB got some issues.
And this isn't that it's cool, but in the state of Massachusetts, the legal age of consent is 16. So if she would be old enough to consent in Massachusetts, but still, in the eyes of public opinion in the world, we know.
And this is the post Me Too era. So like
the
now
whole
it's a little
survivor
different.
R. Kelly thing.
No, it's a little different now. It's like bros can't be moving the way they used to.
But you gotta give like you said, AB said, you know what I'm saying, the way she's moving, you know what I'm saying? He thought that she was older. And that's not AB, like you said, that's AB not doing his due diligence. You dig what I'm saying? Like, but you just to quote something that like Dave Chappelle said, which is really telling too. It's really like I said too, it's tricky. You dig what I'm saying? And like you said, like AB has to protect AB. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I'm moving, right? If I'm moving like a police officer, you know what I'm saying? I got to get up on. I'm like, anytime y'all need me, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? You call me, something happens. And something happens like, oh, yo, my what's the name went missing, or sister, like, why you telling me? Like, cause you dressed up like a cop and you moving like a cop. I thought you was a cop. You know what I'm saying? He's like, just because I move this way and I look this way and I dress this way means that I am a cop. You know what I'm saying? Like what David Chappelle was saying. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so I could get where, you know what I'm saying, what you were saying, but AB having to protect himself.
I can't co-sign that. I'm going to be real. Because
now, what somebody says is when we were saying about somebody dressed some way. Like you said, she's like, you can't say like, oh, just because I dress like a hoe don't mean I am a hoe. You dig what I'm saying? Like somebody says, oh, just because I'm dressed like a cop don't mean I am a cop.
But Adrian Broner is 30 years old. So
nobody.
He knows the era that we're in right now.
I already said that he knows who she is.
I'm
just saying about
I'm not addressing that. What I'm saying is there tends to be this is the problem with most relationships, most fights, most beefs, most everything. There tends to be the defense, right? Defend your actions. Is there a defense to your action? Probably. Like most people have some defense they can bring up, but when you bring up your defense, it takes away from accountability.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
so when AB says, but she moves like an adult, you're not holding yourself accountable, and that's not what people want to hear. That's not what's going to help you. Saying, well, she moves like an adult. Like, if AB was on the stand and he said that, guilty. Right? And it's like, you don't do that. What you say is, I should have done my due diligence. I thought she was older. I apologize, and it won't happen again. I learned a lesson from this. And you move on. Were there reasons that he could have thought she was older? Yes, there are. But you don't say that. Yeah. And I think, like, that's where my issue comes in, because when you blame, when you defend, it takes away from what people want to hear, which is just you understand and you learned the lesson. And so, like, if you say, well, she moves a certain way, it's like you still don't get it. So next time you see someone who moves a certain way, you're not going to look their age up. We just want to know, like, what happened. And so that's the difference.
I know. I'm playing devil's advocate just for AB. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. That's the first thing that I said. Mm-hmm. Like, he knows what it is. But I have to give every side, or I wouldn't be.
No, I already know. I know what you're doing. You're saying what other people would say versus that's what I did as well. Like some people would say, oh well, you dress like this or whatever.
I just think it's AB always doing too much. I believe this is what shows this is his he's never cared about his thinking about his brand. I think when alcohol gets involved, even with the incident with him kissing the girl, it was from alcohol. You dig what I'm saying? It was alcohol about him punching the guy on the strip. That was from alcohol. All these things that he's having has been alcohol related stuff. You know what I'm saying? So AB needs to worry about AB's brand. He needs to start thinking about what he really wants to be remembered as. You know what I'm saying? Does he want to be remembered as this total crash? You know what I'm saying? Or what does he want to be remembered as? Because this is what it's coming down to. You know what I mean?
AB, you just need to understand. Like, look at Antonio Brown, and look at all the people before you, because you're flirting with some edgy stuff. At some point, it's not going to be the point. It's going to be the point of no return. I'd say R. Kelly got away with stuff when he was selling records, when he was selling out tours, when he was doing all this stuff, when he had money to pay people to be silent. When the well ran dry, he got locked up.
Exactly.
And so you just got to understand, man, you can't continue to move that way. You can't continue to be that way. At some point, you're going to have to grow up. And there's a lot of people who like AB. And sliding into the DMs is not a crime. People sliding into DMs. Like, there's a show like the Newmans. It's like Hello Newmans. These young basketball prodigies. And the young woman basketball player, the young girl, she's 15. And she made a rap song. It's like one of the worst rap songs you ever heard. But one of her opening lyric is, I got grown men in my DM. And it's like, I know that's a real lyric. These dudes know she's 15 and they still in her DM.
Hey, beautiful.
The new Jordans is out. Nah, but she got her dad in her life. She got her mom. She got her brother. But the point I'm making is, sometimes people just gonna be what they gonna be. You know that girl 15 years old and you sliding in a DM. Just the world is gonna be a terrible place. There's terrible people out there. But
that's what I said. AB knew. Like I said, that's the first way I started off. Like AB knew. AB, I just want you to make better decisions, man. Like better decisions. Like I don't think you're some monster. Cause I went on and I watched. I seen what the Twitter was saying, and I seen what Instagram was saying, and the other comments that people was posting. Like, I don't think you're a monster, like how what people was saying. I just think that AB, you need to start making better decisions, because you do have a daughter yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you do have sons. You know what I'm saying? And we as men, we have to teach our sons to be better men than what we are. You know what I'm saying? And we have to teach our daughters to respect themselves. And my brother, you have to set a better example, if not for the world, for your children.
All right, so we're going to have to move on from AB to AJ. Anthony Joshua said that he would knock Deontay Wilder out inside 7 rounds if they ever fought. And so, with that being said, G, what are your thoughts?
I don't agree, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It would have to be in the early rounds, to be honest. Well, actually, nah. Let me take that back. Only reason why is because now he's presented a new AJ, so I don't see the endurance thing being a factor anymore. So, nah, I still either which way. I feel like AJ has to go for it, just like because Wilder's gonna go for it in the first couple of rounds. Obviously. So I think AJ's going to have to go for it too. So I believe on either which way, it won't go to the later rounds. So I guess he's right, but I still have Wilder though winning. So it is what it is. But if AJ is to win, I think he's actually correct. It will be within the first probably 7 rounds.
Do you like the fact that he's talking about a fight with Wilder?
Nah, man. I'm being honest with you. Like, this is what AJ is known for. Like, he brings up Wilder, knowing that Wilder has another fight, and Wilder brings
That's
up
what
AJ.
AJ's known for.
They both do it. I'm being honest with you. They both do it. So it's like they bring up each other's names, knowing that the other person has to deal with something else. So I want to hear that talk when the fight presents itself.
True.
My name's Trill. Stands for 3 times real. And I got 3 ways that I want to go at this.
All right, do your thing.
The first way is very aggressive. Talk that sass, brother. Talk that
That's right.
sass.
That's right.
Talk
like that spicy talk.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's how I feel. You know what it is. You just became 2-time world champ. They was all against you over there. Talk that sass.
They already had a contract signed between Wilder and Ruiz.
Say it with your chest. You know what I'm talking
Alright,
about? I
alright.
love that. It's back.
That's
AJ's
right.
back.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I got another side of me. You know what I'm saying? It's a more caring side.
Okay.
Why these guys keep picking on Deontay for? You got the Tysons and you got the AJs and everybody's tag teaming.
Poor baby.
Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? AJ, this man already got a fight going on with Tyson Fury. So he already gonna have his hands full with Tyson talking trash. Now we gotta hear you talking about you gonna spar with him, you gonna do this, you gonna knock him out. Now we gotta hear that too. So not only have I gotta deal with Tyson, I gotta deal with you too. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna come at it the third way. And I got this from Caden. Why is the baddest man on the planet, they call Deontay Wilder the baddest man on the planet, why is everybody talking about they can beat him up, they in his head? That don't sound like the baddest man.
That wasn't happening to Mike. I know that.
You know,
When they
yeah,
call Mike Tyson
yeah.
the baddest man on the planet, that was not
Yes.
happening to Mike.
That wasn't happening to Mike. So that's how I look at it. Something got to give. You know what I'm saying? Like Deontay Wilder, you have to go out here and you have to get your respect because it's really looking like these guys don't respect you now. Now they're starting to just look at you as this one punch, like you're like a fluke champion. You know, I'm hearing things like, oh, like really, who has he fought? You know what I'm saying? Really, all these guys is coming in here to lose. Like it's looking like Rocky when it was like, Mickey, you're letting him, you know, Mickey, is it true, Mickey? You know what I'm saying? It's like Wilder now is your back's against the wall, Wilder. That's how I feel. Your back's against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to come out here, you have to make a statement. You have to lock in here. Listen, do I believe what AJ's saying? AJ believes what he's saying. But I think this is a 12-round fight. You know what I'm saying? But AJ really believes this. His confidence is back. AJ believes this.
AJ versus Wilder, you think it's going to be a 12-round fight?
I think it's going to be a 12-round fight. I think it's a 12. You know why? Because I see how things have changed. And I've watched boxing before. This is why I say it's going to be a 12-round fight. Yeah, we know both guys could knock each other out. But it goes to a point where I've been in there and I've seen where both guys had power to knock each other out. And how many times did it go to the distance? Because you fight differently.
Because neither guy want to open up.
Exactly.
Neither guy wants to open up.
Exactly. This is what happened. People stop. That's why you have to have other tools.
It's different when the other guy across from you has power.
Exactly.
That's what I've been telling these dudes when they were sitting there gassing Matisse like he was going to steamroll Dini. I said, yo, it's a different thing when the guy in front of you hits two.
Exactly.
Can crack two. Wilder never had a guy in front of him who could take him out with one punch.
Or who that could take his punch and give back.
Exactly.
That's what happened
He
with
will.
Fury.
And then that's when I'm going to find out what he's made of.
Exactly. And then he's going to have to play different. Like, like Wilder... Like, we know Wilder could be knockout Stavern, right? But he didn't know that the first fight they fought. He fought a total different fight
Come
You know
on,
what
man.
I'm
It was
saying?
a totally different Stavern. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and it was a totally different Stavern.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
like
you
he
know what I'm
didn't know. He didn't have that
And then
confidence
confidence,
yet.
yeah, he didn't have
Yeah,
that.
but it was still a different Stavern, though.
Yeah,
If he did all that, come on, man.
Yeah.
He stood in front of Stavern in the second fight for 15 seconds with his hands by his side, and Stavern didn't even throw a
And
punch.
he didn't do
If
that
he
the
did
first
that
fight.
in the first fight, Stavern would have knocked him out.
He looked tremendous that first fight. And I said that Wilder would beat AJ in a 12-round fight because of that one thing he possessed in that what's the name fight. I totally think different now. Now it's crazier because I just seen what I wanted to see from AJ. He
made
did
adjustments.
he made adjustments and he did it now. Now you gotta look now. This is what that's why I look at it's gonna be a 12-round fight. And Deontay Wilder, can he make adjustments? We know AJ can make the adjustments. Can Wilder make the adjustment?
I actually think AJ stops him.
You know what I'm saying?
He can't take those right hands. The right hand that split Andy Ruiz's face, he couldn't take it. The left hook that dropped Andy Ruiz, he couldn't take it. And Joshua's going to hit him. If you look at Wilder, everyone hits Wilder first. Wilder just lands that punch. When AJ hits him, he won't take it. I know that. He won't take it. He's going to get knocked out.
But it's not going to be it's going to be the same AJ that fought Andy Ruiz. That's going to be that fight until he does catches.
There's a reason they haven't put Wilder in the ring with punchers.
Yeah.
Wilder got dropped by a journeyman. You can't find it on the internet because Al Heyman scrubbed the internet of it. All you can find is a picture with Deontay Wilder looking like Marcellus Wilder on the floor, right? And he ended up getting up and beating the journeyman. But ever since then, they know he doesn't have a chin. Klitschko knocked Deontay Wilder out in sparring with the big gloves on. So, like, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, he's never been in a ring with a puncher, and that's not an accident.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. Dillian White, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Oh, that Anthony Joshua. Sometime when I'm alone, Anthony Joshua. I like hearing Anthony Joshua talk like that. I don't know what G's heard. He can pull me up some old interviews, but there was only one person that I know using someone else's name. And that was Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua never needed to use Deontay Wilder's name to sell because he was always the biggest star. I never heard Anthony Joshua say what he's saying to Deontay Wilder now. And I love it because what I realize is, like you said, is a huge shift. I think they all realize how mentally weak Deontay Wilder is. Tyson Fury's calling him out. He said, your resume is weak. You fought Dominique Brazil, who was average at best. You fought Ortiz, who's average at best, and he's 100 years old. And he said, when you fought me, the world knows I beat you. This is key. He said the world knows I beat you.
Without training, I was on a diet.
Yep. That's the truth. The world sees Tyson Fury as the winner. There's no doubt about it, man. These Wilder fans can act. Wilder saw Tyson Fury as the winner. I keep telling people, play that again. Only one guy was happy when they announced the draw, and it wasn't Tyson. Mm-hmm. You can see the disappointment in Tyson Fury's face, and you can see the excitement in Wilder's face because Wilder knows he lost.
You're supposed to judge a fight round by round.
Yes.
Who won the most rounds?
Yes. And so, with that being said, you look at Anthony Joshua, and I think Anthony Joshua realized something. He realized the pressure he had on him when he was fighting after Wilder fought Brazil, and he realized, like, that really got to me. He's just returning the favor now. He's like, yep, I'll fight. And unlike Wilder, though, I believe Anthony Joshua would take the fight. He got nothing to lose now. He already took a loss, and I think that changed him.
No, he said whether Wilder has the WBC belt or not, they're gonna fight regardless.
Yeah,
so I respect that.
I think sometimes you got to go through something to realize it's not that bad. And I think he took the L already, so he's like, bump it. Like I bet you in his mind, I heard him say it. I would have rather it been Wilder. Like he's like in his mind, he was thinking that I would have rather this L had been to Wilder on this night. So I think like in that moment, he's realized like, Why play around? I need to take the fights that are going to motivate me. I'm going to train well. I'm going to go in the ring. And I think for Wilder, he hasn't reached that point yet because he's still undefeated. So he's still worried about that undefeated. Wilder, you can beat 5 dudes in a row. We're not going to care. One fight with AJ. You make all that money. And here's the thing, like, people, we've seen fighters lose, and we still got respect for the way that they took the L.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can gain more in a loss sometimes.
Most of my favorite fighters got L.
Exactly. And that's what I was about to say. We saw Bardo Jack take a L. None of us are sitting here looking at Bardo Jack like he's some scrub, like we don't like him. We seen Tony Harrison take a L. None of us looking at Tony Harrison like we don't like him, like he's some scrub. He put on a hell of a fight. You know, it's not taking the L, it's how you take the L. Right, we saw Joshua take the L. It was a shocker, but if you're being real, he fought, man. He got up.
Listen,
he dropped the guy.
He seen what Pacquiao did to Ricky Hatton, but I'm still wouldn't disrespect Ricky the Hitman Hatton. You know what I'm saying?
So I think for Wilder, I think at some point, but take the fight. If you take the L, no one's gonna. You lost to AJ. You lost to AJ, dog.
Like, how you lost.
Yeah. If AJ loses to Wilder, I think he realizes it now. People gonna be like, you lost to Wilder though. Like, no one's gonna be like, yo, you lost to some bum or whatever. You lost to Wilder.
As long as you don't go out like Malik Scott.
Exactly. That's the only way you're gonna get clowned. You go out like Brazil, Malik, and all those guys, then you're gonna get clowned. But you go in there, you give it your all, you lose.
I'll be honest, even if he.
Go out like Brazil.
Even if the Brazil happened,
they still won't
get disrespected.
Because you gotta look like nobody. Because
they know in the heavyweight division it happens.
Nah, he can't go out like Brazil, dog.
Yeah. Bro, that can happen.
If he goes out like Brazil, he better stay out of the UK for like.
I know for a fact that UK fans respect him more enough to be like, you know what, run it back. They'll be like,
nah, bro, you can't go out like that though. I'm telling you can't go out like that. All the money they're gonna pay, I don't think it will go out. I don't think either one of them are gonna go out like that. Yeah, I don't think Wilder's going out like that. I think they're gonna go out. They're gonna come in. They're gonna come in the best shape. They're gonna come in motivated.
Yeah, but I don't want nobody to be shocked if it goes 12 rounds.
I wouldn't be. It could go either way. Real talk. Wilder could land and knock him out. He could land and knock Wilder out. It could be one of those fights where they both can take each other's punch and it goes 12 rounds. We don't know.
In fact, it could be what's his name? AJ versus Parker all over again. But both men are like, well, not say both men because AJ wanted to exchange, but Parker was more reserved.
He want to exchange with Parker. Yeah, that's Parker different when it's Wilder though. Like it's once again, it's different when it's Wilder.
That's why I can see now what you're saying. That it could go 12. You know,
it could be
a high speed chess,
a hit and grab fight.
Yeah,
I'm hoping. But I'm being honest. This is what I'm hoping. Wilder is like, yo, AJ is gonna try to test him out for the first round, and I'm hoping Wilder just goes for it in the first. Like, just go for it, switch it up, just go. Because like that might be your only window to take him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want AJ to be comfortable in that fight. Because then if AJ's comfortable, that's a higher probability.
It's a tough fight to predict because it's heavyweight boxing for one. But this is the reason why people want to see that fight. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy that Anthony Joshua was saying it because and I'm excited that Anthony Joshua was saying it. Because it's like, one, he's not avoiding speaking about Wilder, which is what they were saying, like, oh, we're not going to. Well, he's speaking Wilder. He's speaking Fury. He's saying, let's make the fight happen. And so the more that he says Wilder's name, the more that I feel like it's good. If he's sitting around like, I'm not going to talk about Wilder, then I would be like, come on, man. So the fact he's saying his name, I'm happy. The fact he's saying he'd knock him out, I'm happy because it shows me that he's feeling good. He's confident. He's not worried about the slip up he had with Ruiz. So I like that. So I'm happy about that. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Wilder's the opponent. We'll see if Fury's the opponent. But I like the fact he's talking about it. So I think it's a good thing. And it also helps because, if it was me personally, I wish AJ didn't say anything because the more he talks, the more he helps.
Selling that fight, the more he helps.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
but this is why AJ's smart. Still a long-term investment because you want that fight to be successful because then it makes your fight with either or even bigger.
No, I think I said it wrong. If I was on AJ's team, I wouldn't want him talking about the fight because it's going to make the fight bigger. As a fan of boxing, I want that fight to be big. Like I want Fury and Wilder to do numbers that are so good that it's like, yo, it only makes sense to make Joshua versus the winner of this fight next. Yeah. Like, let's not play around. Like, let's not
everybody
risk
throw away y'all belts. Who cares?
Who cares about the belts? We all know this is the fight.
These are the real champs.
If y'all want to strip them and not be a part of this fight, go right on ahead. You just won't get no sanctioning fees. You just won't get no notoriety. Exactly, right. Like, I want to see you take away your belts from this fight.
Man,
like
that's what AJ will become a franchise champ.
Yeah, that's when I want to see. So I just hope that happens. So we're gonna move on because we were talking about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. They have their fight coming up February 22nd. And the way the fight's being promoted, as I said it on the last podcast, is being promoted college football playoff, college football championship, and the Super Bowl. And Bob Arum said that they're probably not going to do any press conferences for this fight. And so we discussed this on our video segments on YouTube, but for the sake of the podcast, we're going to go over this again. And what are your thoughts on the way the fight's being promoted? How much do you think this fight is going to sell? And do you think it makes Wilder look bad if he doesn't show up to any of the other promotional obligations to face Tyson Fury? Because Tyson Fury feels like Deontay Wilder's been avoiding him. Trill, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm really not a numbers guy, but I think it's great. I think it's great, this promotion from Fox and ESPN. Hey, how can it not be great? You know what I'm saying? As far as the numbers go, I'm not really the numbers guy. I just think that it's going to do better than these guys did on their sales, by their sales. You know what I'm saying? And what was the last one?
Just basically, if Deontay Wilder continues to avoid the press conferences and seeing Tyson Fury face to face, do you think it's going to make him look bad?
Listen, Deontay Wilder, like I said before, listen, he already made Deontay Wilder cry. You know what I'm saying? If this is going to help Deontay Wilder win the fight, do whatever it helps to you win the fight. You know what I'm saying? If being around this guy makes you so emotional that it's going to make you go out in this fight and fight.
I'm emotional.
Exactly. If it's going to make you fight a certain type of fight, then, hey, do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to, at the end of the day, you really got to do the best for you. Or, of course, it's going to make you look all types of soft and all that. But if you really trying to win, you got to do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you what's best for you. I can tell you how it's going to look.
How's it going to look? How's it going to look?
It's going to look real crazy. But if it's the best thing to work for you, hey, what you going to do? What you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, drinking piss to everybody was crazy. You know what I'm saying? When Marquez was doing it. But hey, if it was working for him, you know what I'm saying? Making them feel strong, hey, pee away. Drink your beer. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Bottle it up. Put it in the fridge. You know what I'm saying?
Drink it like Gatorade.
Drink it like Gatorade if it works for you. You know?
I know what kind of wonder tonic you got.
So I actually agree with Bob Arum on this one, and for a couple of reasons. Because for one, Bob's been in the game for forever, right? And two, I'm pretty sure, ESPN, they have statisticians, they have experts that look at algorithms, and they pretty much know, what, press conferences doesn't correlate to more ticket sales. So I think, and think about this, Arum's representing Tyson Fury, and those things, those press conferences benefits Tyson Fury more so than Wilder. And Bob Arum himself is like, it doesn't even make sense, So I feel like they're looking at that as an unnecessary expense, and so he's like, hey, we have ESPN and Fox, two sports powerhouse corporations that could advertise this fight to millions of viewers, right? That's the focus. Like the press conferences, these are for the boxing diehards. So it's almost like a niche market with press conferences. When you go after like football, now you're talking about America's sport. you're gonna get millions of faces, millions of people to go and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to check out Wilder, the hardest hitting dude, versus Tyson Fury, the only guy to eat this guy's punches. You want to see that, you know? And so I believe Bob Arum, you know, sees that vision that ESPN and Fox has for this fight, and he agrees with it. And I do too.
I don't.
Well, I'm not
Like-
surprised.
Because I keep it real. That's why. I don't keep it. I don't keep it 3 times long. Not 3 times. Just 2 times. 2 times. Really. Not 3 times. Really. Just 2. Nah, but you know, it's not a bad strategy. Like I said before, I think it makes sense, but it's also a free strategy because these, you know, you have Fox involved and you have ESPN involved, and so they already have stake in the college football playoff and the Super Bowl. So all you're doing is giving them a few minutes to talk about their fight.
Point of clarification: it's not technically free. They are losing money because every time they put a commercial for the Wilder Fury fight, that's a slot that they're losing from another corporation that wants that airtime. So they are losing money. It's not losing
It's
money,
free,
but-
bro. Like that's like me saying, bro, that's like me saying I can cut hair. I'm a barber, so I cut people's hair and I get paid. But when I take 20 minutes to line myself up, I'm losing money.
And when I,
No, I'm not.
and when
It's just
when I say
it's either that or pay someone else.
Yeah.
So like, yo,
and when I
it's-
say free, as far as boxing goes, it's free. The promoters, that's the network already. You know, the promoters ain't putting no bread behind it. That's the networks. You dig what I'm saying? That's why I say like it's free. And you know what I'm saying? It's free from like Bob Arum is not telling them like because this is ESPN wanting to show this.
Oh,
on
are you?
YouTube.
So you're saying it's free for top rank?
Yeah, this is
All right,
saves
got
money.
you. No,
Yeah.
I was saying it's not free
and
for
it saves
ESPN
and
and
it
Fox.
saves PBC.
And you know what I mean? Because it may even freeze a little funny because I just need to know who's in charge of.
And
Bro,
you know,
it
why-
is-
and it's
it
free
is-
on
it is-
ESPN
it is,
too.
yo, it's-
Because
And it's free
even
on
ads-
ESPN too,
But
right?
follow me on this. Ads cost money, right?
Yeah.
So you have to pay people to.
But it's
actually
not an
create
ad.
them.
It's not an
It's
No,
not
they're
an
not gonna
ad.
have commercials.
Yeah, they're gonna have commercials,
no,
but they're gonna
commercial
have
slots.
also other stuff too.
But see, this is what I'm saying, bro. It's not an ad. They had Tyson Fury sit down with one of the analysts during the airtime that they
Yeah.
normally would
Yes.
be on air and interview him.
But Bob also said they will have commercial.
Okay,
time.
well, commercials.
So
that's
that
not
means
what.
you
That's
gotta
not.
pay to have
That's
a
not.
commercial.
That's not what I was referring to when I said for free.
Oh, all right, got you. Then point. Yeah, that's what I asked.
Okay then. So when they're being interviewed, that's the time they're looking to kill anyway. They're looking to interview
facts.
people.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're gonna
true.
have them on. I think that's smart and it's free once again. Now, if you recall what I said on the video segment, I said they should also have commercials playing. Remember, I said they should also have commercials playing throughout the games because you can't just rely on the interview. And do you recall the reason why I said you can't do that is because that's usually the time people go up, get some food, go to the restroom. So you, although, and you know, ideally you'll say like this is going to hit 90 million homes, 90 million people may not see all the interviews. So you want to make sure you're running commercials as well. So I said that. Hopefully they do run commercials.
But I
If they-
consider that free anyway still because if I have a company, right? I have a company already. I have a TV company. This is ESPN. This is my company anyway. It's nothing for me. I get what you're saying that it takes from, but I can still put Doritos in there and throw mine in there. You dig what I'm saying?
You're right, and I was gonna get on that.
That's
Here's how.
right.
It's slots.
Yeah, it's
So there's a slots every time slot. Say there's we got a 6:35 commercial slot. Then there's like a 7:45 commercial slot. If no one buys a 7:45 commercial slot for free, I insert Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury
And not
commercial,
only
and I
does-
don't lose any money.
And you know why I don't lose no money? Because it's promoting and on my show. It's gonna come to ratings.
that's
I'm
a
getting
good-
paid for it.
And
So you're-
also,
so you're
and
accepting
also,
the
and also,
investment.
and also, and also, you're not losing any money because no one purchased that slot. So that's my point. It's free, dog. Like it is what it is. I get it. You wanna make it seem like they care enough to invest in that fight, but the reality of it is, it seems like they don't.
It's a good business.
It is. I never said. I said they should put commercials. In fact, but the point I was making was if I cut my own hair, you can say I'm losing money because if I'm a barber and I cut other people's hair and I get $20 per head, then I cut my own hair. Yeah, I'm using my skill and I'm taking the time. But if I don't cut my own hair, I got to get a $20 to someone else to cut my hair, right? So really, I'm not losing, right? I'm not losing any money because I get to pocket my 20. Yeah, the time, I'm not doing a head, but I'm not doing heads every day with all my time. I only lose the money if I cut my hair at the time I would be on the clock.
That's kind of like when Benzino used to own the Source and he used to put all his album covers inside the Source. Mm-hmm. It was free, you know what I'm saying? He owned the magazine, so he could had a 5-page spread on
exactly.
himself.
The only way they're losing money is if they advertise the fight on other networks.
Yeah.
Not their own network. For every slot that doesn't get purchased, I just run my commercial.
Mm-hmm. I agree, but I was thinking more of the Super Bowl, right? Where every Fortune 500 company wants a Super Bowl slot. Right, so all those slots are gonna get taken.
Oh yeah,
so
100.
They would have to say, no, we're gonna allocate these slots for Tyson Fury Wilder promotion, right? Yeah. And by them doing that, that's why I was like, I'm pushing back on free, but I understand what you guys are saying. So that's why
that's different. That's a different beast.
But it really isn't, because if I'm Fox Sports and I got the Super Bowl on Fox. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm still want to get some bread. I'm going to promote my other company. There's going to be Fox TV shows
return on investment
that come on, say if it was a show called Dennis World or something. I'm going to promote that show also during the Super
we
Bowl.
already know the new season for The Masked Singer is starting immediately after the Super Bowl. And I guarantee your commercial coming on for that.
But what I will say this, though, is if...
Trevor, don't be making sense out here.
No, I know. I'm sorry.
Don't stop making sense out here, Trevor.
Because I was actually impressed with the promotion of Wilder versus Ortiz too, right? Like they actually, you could tell they put money into those commercials and the ads and stuff. If they could do something similar with the Wilder Fury too, then I think the fight's going to be a success, you know? And so you have two powerhouses that have the budgets to make sure that this is the best promotion that we're going to see in a long time. Because not to mention, too, Fox isn't like subscription based. Mm-hmm. ESPN, even though ESPN has television too, but like ESPN's boxing is more subscription based. But because ESPN is double dipping in both, it's not like DAZN, where DAZN, most of their advertisements goes towards like social media. This is going to be on television where everybody in America could see. So that has to benefit this fight.
Well, once again, like I said and I'll continue to say, I think it's smart. Mm-hmm. I think 100% I'm with it.
But you don't think this is going to reach 2 million? Or at least...
Well, I didn't even get to the buys yet. I'm talking strictly on the premise that it's good to not have a press conference. And so that's what I'm getting at. For one, you may put a commercial out there. You may have them interview. But one, everyone's not going to watch it, bro. I don't watch every interview. I don't watch halftime shows. I think the halftime show is going to be like Shakira and, I don't know, is it J-Lo or something? I don't know. Who is it? Shakira and someone else. I don't even know. You know why I don't know?
I've never watched.
Because I'm not watching the halftime show. I can't even remember the last time I watched the halftime show. I know the last time I watched the halftime show. The last time I watched the halftime show was with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
And I ran in late because everybody screamed in, hey, you didn't run in there. You know what I'm saying? So I ran in late, but
I happened to be watching and I couldn't believe what I saw. I was appalled.
And I ran in because
at Justin
screaming. I ran like, what I missed? I was making a plate. That's what we do during the halftime. You make a plate. You get up and you get 2 plates.
Everyone knows the last halftime show that I watched was Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, and I was upset with Justin. Mind your business, Justin. It was none of your business. Yeah. All right, but anyways, so I do think it's a good idea. But to not have press conferences, I think it's a bad idea. I believe that press conferences have enhanced the public's appetite for a number of fights. Most recently, Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo. There is not a doubt in my mind that fight was more entertaining, more popular, and it was a press conference.
I agree with you on.
And I totally
let Tyson Fury beat Tyson.
Exactly. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder won. Those press conferences were everywhere. I still remember the very first press conference when Tyson Fury started calling him a Dawsa and everything. Man, That was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about how entertaining Tyson Fury is.
Made him cry.
That box.
You know, it's funny. That's the subject, but you know, Showtime must be tight right now. Showtime like, they're not touching none of this money. You know what I mean?
It's their fault because they didn't want to pick up the fight.
They didn't believe him.
I know they tight now.
It is what it is, but I can't be mad at Showtime because they couldn't afford to take that L. They couldn't afford to take any more L's. So like, and Fox swooped in, and Fox can't afford to take the L. So it just is what it is. But the press conference is what made that fight what it was, because the press conference got like people involved. Like Tyson Fury showed his personality. That got Tyson Fury on like the Breakfast Club. Tyson Fury was going around doing interviews. Tyson Fury was going around selling that fight. And Deontay Wilder, I know like he can't hang with Tyson Fury in terms of like wit and cleverness, but he held his own. What I mean by he held his own was like till this day was a part of that build up.
Emotional.
Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
It
matter.
had nothing to do with the conversation.
I was thinking so much.
Do you like apples? To this day.
Hold on. But my point is, that was a response, and that happened at one of the public events where a reporter approached Wilder, and it led to some going viral. That's my point. We never would have had that moment, and so I'm just saying, like, yo, exactly. That's
like
a talk.
Twinkies to this day. He went in on the brother.
You still using your mom's Netflix to this day?
Shout out to his name, Raheem.
Yeah, but that's my point. So these little things all help promote and sell the fight. I remember seeing that. I was dying. Remember I said to you, I said, this brother is nervous. Remember I saw that. I said to them, remember I said Deontay Wilder is nervous. Deontay Wilder's worked up. I said Tyson got to him. That reaction shows me Tyson's in his head. And I was right. And so those are the things I'm talking about. Like, you can't just crap on a press conference. There's a way boxing matches were built. So I get it. Yeah, you're catering to the masses by promoting this during the Super Bowl, but you're gonna crap on the diehard boxing fan that really buys the fight? That's not good. That's not smart. The way the biggest boxing match have been promoted since the beginning of time was giving us the press conferences. What are you gonna start doing? Private weigh-ins too? Like, come on now.
It has been a couple.
What's going on? So I mean,
They had a private weigh-in.
You know what? I can see it both sides, because I remember they said like Floyd and Conor had like 6 press conferences. Like, to me, that's a lot. But for that magnitude of a fight, especially they're bringing UFC with boxing together, it was necessary. I get it. But the reason why I have to agree with Caden on this is just because of Tyson Fury. Like, when you see Tony Harrison and what he did, like, when you look at the YouTube views, like, and there's like multiple clips, but like, there's like one video's like 300,000, this one's 200,000, 100,000, 300,000, Yo, you calculate all of those from their press conference.
I get it. Okay.
It's over millions.
I
so
totally
that's why I
agree. I said it from the beginning. I totally agree with Kaden. But this is where we got to come. I got to play devil's advocate. Is it about selling the fight or winning?
Like, I get where you're coming from, because you're saying emotional.
Yeah.
Like, he's emotional, and you don't do, but that's why I said he can wear earplugs. He can wear headphones. He can come in there with the noise cancellation joints. Like you said, his man just tap him and be like, go ahead, do your thing. Like, what were you saying?
Yeah.
And if they say like, yo, what are you doing? I'm canceling out the BS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like, you know, I'm in some G status, but he don't gotta engage him. That's all I'm saying. He don't gotta engage him.
Tyson Fury walk over beside him, take the headphones off. You skinny little.
But how funny would that be? You dig what I'm saying? Like, that would be hilarious. Like, yo, that would sell. Like, yo, all you would see is Tyson Fury removing Wilder's headphones, right?
And if they could get at least one viral moment from one of the
They
press
would,
conferences,
yo, naturally they would.
That's
These
what
are,
I'm saying.
Wilder's an idiot, not by choice, sometimes, right? And Fury's a certified clown.
Yeah,
like, that's what I mean. You put those two together, you're going to get something.
They're gonna
and like
have press
that's going to be millions of clicks.
That's why. That's the only
like,
reason why I agree with Ken. It's because of Tyson Fury. If it
Yeah,
wasn't
they gotta
Tyson
have
Fury,
it.
I'd be like, man, get rid of those. press
Yeah,
conferences.
like Brazil is a waste of
Yeah,
time
that's
for
what I'm
press
saying. It was
conferences.
like,
But Tyson Fury's a showman.
Yeah, he's a
you
showman.
put him and you give him Wilder because you know he's gonna be coming out Wilder with all his best stuff. And I get Wilder's like get so emotional, but it's like why get so worked up, Wilder? You know you gotta sell this fight, right? You saw Mayweather, McGregor's grabbing his hat or whatever. He's laughing like You think he would let like Victor Ortiz grab his hat? No, he knows what McGregor's doing. He's like, keep going, grab the hat,
Yeah, but we all
do
know
whatever.
Deontay Wilder and Jamel Charlo, they're not Floyd. So these guys are going to go into the
but
ring
they want to be
charged up. Like,
but you want to be
you know?
Floyd. You need a dance partner to sell
That's
a big
true,
fight.
but-
It takes two to make a mega event. You got Mayweather and you got Pacquiao. You got Mayweather and you got McGregor. You need two.
That's why I'm just shocked at-
or Deontay Wilder is preparing for the press conference. This is something that people don't understand that fighters do. Like this is preparing for a press conference. Also, fighters prepare for press conferences. They prepare to have a how they're gonna perform, how they're gonna act. Maybe he got with some comedians. He got with some people down, and he's working on material. And he watched. If we see the press conference and Wilder is articulate
back,
and he's saying how he's.
I really would love that to tell you the truth.
but
You know what I'm saying?
But he
Maybe
don't
is
got it. But you know
practicing.
he don't need
because
it.
Wilder will mess up and he'll say things
Right,
that he
I'd
don't
rather
even
have
need.
Wilder just be a country bumpkin. And just make it like
but
Just
that will
keep it like,
cause,
I'd rather
that
have him do that.
causes trouble.
But once he tries to like go
He'll-
clap for clap with,
Yo,
It might work.
it's just gonna be a roast session.
It
Bring Michael Blackson with him then.
Exactly.
And just have Michael Blackson talk
Exactly.
for him. Like,
Yo,
Exactly.
man, I'm telling you, this guy, Kaden, you a smart bro.
That's what I was saying.
This is the second time he gave sound advice. I'm
Like,
telling you, listen, I was about to look at the camera for no reason. Listen, ESPN and Fox, they need to just subcontract us. We'll get them right. The fact that those are two things. The first thing that you said I thought was genius was you promote Fury as the only guy to eat Wilder's deadliest punch, right? That's number one. Boom, easy sell for Fox and ESPN. Number two, Wilder, yeah, we know you're not good with the gift of gab. That's cool. Bring somebody that could just roast Tyson Fury for you. You know what I mean? And make it a spectacle, you know?
I think
and that
he's
also
getting
promotes
prepared.
the fight.
He's gonna be really prepared this.
My thing
press
is, YouTube clicks and something that goes viral is just as valuable as paying for a commercial or whatever. And Wilder can give you viral moments. Wilder has
Maybe
given
even
you
more
viral
effective
moments.
because of social media.
Yeah, exactly. Wilder can give you viral moments, and Fury's a guy who can give you viral moments. The more you put them in a room together, the better the chances you get something that people are going to click on. And you can create that moment, even if it's one or two press conferences. That's what I'm saying. And Wilder, you got to understand that you were too emotional. You were too invested in like the trash talk that was being said. It helps him. I don't want the first time Deontay Wilder sees Tyson Fury to be at the weigh-in, because that's bad news to me. That's bad news. That's if he get him at the weigh-in, it's not going to be time for him to get over it. Like, all right, I'm too wound up. I need to. If he gets in his head at the weigh-in, if he gets in his head at the press conference before the fight, that's too close to the fight. He was picking on Wilder from the jump. He had time. Wilder this time should just shut up. Like, I know what's up.
And that's why I wish I was a fly on the wall in the executive meetings with Fox and ESPN, and when they agreed to do less press conferences. Because I'm like, why is Bob pushing this now when you think about it, knowing that Bob is on the side of Tyson Fury? Like, there has to be a reason.
It's money, I think. Also,
it costs money to
here's
put
another.
press
You
conference.
brought it up. I think another thing is there's nothing that can challenge the fake numbers they're going to put out. Because if they have a press conference and only like 100, 200 people show up, people are going to be like, look at the numbers of this press conference. But if you dead the press conference, no one can say there wasn't that interest in the fight. But I truly believe they're going to do good numbers.
Yeah.
By good numbers, I mean like 750,000
I'd
to
say
1 million.
800,000
Yeah,
to
to 1 million. When I hear 2 million, I get mad because I feel like you're setting the bar so high, all they can do is fail. Don't
And
do
then
that. Set it at $1 million, and then if they
Exactly.
hit over, it's better.
Because if you say 2 million and they don't hit 2 million, yo, is all you're gonna hear is they didn't live up to their pay-per-view
Nah, you
expectations.
know what they're gonna do. They're gonna
but
adjust the
it
narrative.
happens.
And it's still going to front like it's
But bro,
a success.
what makes more sense? To
No, I agree with you. I
say
agree
1
with
million and then they do like 1.5 and you're
And
like,
say, we
oh, it
overexceeded.
exceeded expectations. Or I'll be like 2 million and then they do like 1, and then people gonna be like, that's $1 million short of what you.
And it's still, and $1 million is great. $1 million
that's
is great.
Only a few people can
You know what I'm
say they've
saying?
done $1 million.
For real, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
but
great.
that's what I mean. It starts to make an accomplishment that should be celebrated feel like something you should be disappointed
Exactly, because
in.
you should celebrate 1 million buys.
That's great. If they do $1 million buys, to me,
That's
that's
a success.
50-50 with Anthony Joshua.
That's
If they do $1
success.
million,
That's
that's
success.
50-50 with Anthony Joshua. And that's coming from me, the guy who's been clowning them all. If they do a legit 1 million pay-per-view buys, that's 50-50.
But if you're gonna throw
So
out
they
and say
pull
that
out
you're
2 million.
50-50.
50, say 50, but say if
But
you
AJ 40, wow.
but say if you say,
AJ
but say if you
solidified.
say,
Nah,
but say if you
AJ
but say if you're the upper ups and you saying 200, you saying 2 million, right? And you don't hit that 2 million. You're gonna hurt yourself
Exactly.
in negotiation. Even if you do $1 million, you're gonna hurt yourself because you talked yourself over something that you didn't make.
You should never oversell. Like, it's all I'm saying. I feel
Well,
like,
what if Bob is under? No, I'm playing.
Underselling.
Now Bob is, you know
what
what it is. He's old. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Nah,
if you
she believe-
undersell something and then it does over, you exceed it.
but I don't feel like $1 million's an undersell. I feel like $1 million is
it's not.
realistic. Just be realistic. I think $1 million buys could be the goal. You should say the goal is $1 million buys, right? If they hit that target, great. If they exceed it, even better. But when you say 2 million, it's like, bro, that's like.
And we're talking about this heavyweight division has been dead. This was at the names of like Mike. Like Mike's name resonated through everybody's household. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not these guys. This is not. I'm not trying to take a crap on these heavyweights right now. But these ain't these names of these guys that we remember from back in the day.
And they actually fought each other too. Is the difference.
And they're not the names that like they're not Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? They're not De La Hoya and Mayweather. They're not even Canelo and Mayweather. You dig what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand the names of what the powers that had. So if they do, that's gonna be big. And these guys should take that
I would say this: whoever wins that fight versus AJ is gonna be on that level. That is.
Yo, but here's the deal. Even whoever loses, and this is why I tell
Yeah,
people,
'cause whoever loses,
Holyfield and Lennox fought each other. It was a huge
whoever-
pay-per-view fight. They had L's. When Tyson fought Lennox, he had L's.
yeah.
And when like these, when Tyson fought Holyfield, they had
had
L's.
And
Like
that's
yo,
why I like
and they
it's
was
not-
still
I'm
big
telling you,
fights.
the AJ that came out of Saudi Arabia is my man's because he's like, I'm fighting all of them.
But I'm
regardless
just-
whether they win,
but
lose, draw, I'm
all
gonna fight
three of
them.
those fights, as long as they all fight each other, it's gonna be
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
because one can lose and win. Like for example, Fury could beat Wilder, right? Lose to Joshua, and then Wilder could beat Joshua.
Exactly.
You dig what I'm saying? Like this is really possible
And
given
then
the
you
got
gotta
styles
run
that they
certain
have.
fights back. Then you
Exactly.
gotta run certain fights back
Exactly.
again.
Given the styles they have,
You know what
like
I'm
there's and you can throw Ruiz in that mix too, because Ruiz can probably take out some of them and still. I'm telling you,
Any given Saturday.
Ruiz, a motivated Ruiz is a dangerous man
Yeah,
because
that's
of
true.
you
If
being
he's
real.
motivated.
His hand speed is better than all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
He has the fastest hands in the
Out of
division.
all of them, yeah.
Yep, and he's very intelligent.
And then if he can get in close where y'all
Yep.
are trying to break
Yep.
away or while
and
he's
you make
hugging
one mistake with
you
Ruiz, he could. Yep. Yep.
Man, he's so
and
fast.
so it's one of those deals where they just got to make it happen, man, and let the chips fall where they fall. You can lose and still be very popular and still make good money. That all those fights with these guys, the greats we talk about, they had them L's. You know, even Hakeem Rahman. I still remember when we were watching Hakeem Rahman fight. And he came out to DMX, Ain't No Sunshine, and Lennox was looking like comfortable, and I was like, yo. this could be an upset for the night.
Yo, Lennox, that whole fight.
Remember, Lennox was overweight.
No,
He was exhausted.
but no.
He had his hands down.
Yo, that whole fight. No, and he's smiling.
That's why I say he's looking comfortable. He walked
smiling
in
at-
looking comfortable.
Yo,
like,
he was smiling before he got hit.
Yeah, he thought it was food.
Before he got hit with, he cracked a huge bright smile before he got punched. Like, cause he was like, this guy.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what happened. You can't take nobody lightly. AJ seen that. You can't take nobody lightly. You know what I'm saying?
And even when Lennox was fighting Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
and he's beating him, but you can hear Emmanuel in the corner like, take him out.
Yeah,
what the
don't
hell's
play-
wrong
don't
with you?
play with
Stop playing with him. This man is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like he was like going off on him, like
Yeah, all it
because
takes is
he
one punch.
knows like yo, you in there with Iron Mike, dog. It don't matter what you doing, and that's what I mean. Like these guys,
And
like,
Mike was a full show of himself.
exactly.
full.
And that's why I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be honest. Even if, and knock on wood, Wilder gets KO'd by AJ, I'm still gonna love all three of those dudes. Even though I'll be bringing smoke to AJ and Fury, yo, they are the best thing for the heavyweight division right now.
they're the
So
top
it's like
three
I
guys,
want
yo.
all
It's
three
one
of them to be
fight.
successful.
Even if
Listen, if we
Wilder,
did a Mount Rushmore right now, those would be the three
Exactly,
guys.
they're gonna definitely be on that.
and,
Mount
and,
Rushmore.
and here's the thing: if they fight in Joshua KO's Wilder, you have to have a rematch, and Wilder can KO him in the rematch. You dig what I'm saying? Like these guys, there's nothing about these guys that says they can consistently beat one another. That's why we needed them. We need them in the ring. Because Wilder and AJ1 can be so good. Say AJ is outboxing him for 7 rounds or whatever, and then he knocks AJ out. We're going to see it again.
Yeah.
Oh, Leonard beat.
Yeah, I see it again.
Leonard beat Hearns the first fight,
Yeah.
and then to me, Hearns won the second fight. You dig what I'm saying? We got Duran fought what's his name 3 times. Over expensive times. This is what I'm saying. These guys is in that.
Yeah, Leonard Duran whooped Leonard the first fight,
time.
and then the second fight Leonard won because
And
he
then-
danced
and then the
around.
third fight, he won too,
Yeah.
'cause of time.
But they were older.
Oh yeah.
They took off their robes. I said, "What the hell am I looking at right now? This is grudge match." Well, yo, for real, like, but for being for real, like,
But that's what I see.
the fights
with
just
these
have
three
to
guys.
happen. Yeah, they gotta fight each
When
other.
it was Hearns, Hagler, and Leonard. That's how I look at these guys.
But I give Wilder this, and I said this before, and I give him credit. He's fighting Fury again, and I give Fury credit because he's fighting Wilder again. And so you gotta respect that. These guys, this fight deserves a sell. Like I'm not being a hater. This fight deserves a sell. I hope it sells. I just don't know if it can sell 2 million, and that still won't be a disappointment if it doesn't sell.
Is there a rematch clause on this fight?
it should be.
Then that means that AJ.
No, I don't think it's immediate though.
Yeah.
Oh,
If there is, I don't know if there's a rematch clause. But I'm assuming if you're Wilder, you would want one, and if you're a Fury, you'd want one.
Yeah, that's just good business.
Yeah, but it's probably not an immediate. I'm pretty sure if they've already talked about it, whoever wins this fight can try to get AJ.
Yeah, AJ.
You know, can try to get AJ.
But AJ's is tied up. He got already 2 mandatories that he got.
He only really got to fight one though.
Yeah, pole left. Yeah.
Because they could still
But
do
Yusuf- but they gonna
fourth quarter 2020 could be the huge unification.
Yo,
of
just
all-
do one.
But we don't know what's gonna happen on February 22nd. We might go in there and get a double knockout. We might go in there and get another draw. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Well, we
But
don't know.
hey, like, yo, pick a straw, whatever, you know what I mean, out of the hat or whatever. Whoever gets the longest one, you fight.
Yo, forget this, bro.
You
Like,
know?
yo, if they strip Anthony Joshua, let him strip him. He defends one title, right? Keeps the belt. Yeah. If Wilder Fury, the winner of that fight, they fight each other, and then they'll take the strap from whomever has it.
No, but say if
I'm
AJ
telling you,
feel like Canelo.
Yeah,
like
that's
I
what
earn
I'm
these
saying.
belts. Like don't just strip me from my belt.
Yo,
We
you
know
gotta
who's the
be,
champ.
exactly. I'm just done with the belts. I feel like at a certain point you just need to let them go. Now I was wondering, we wonder why there hasn't been an undisputed heavyweight champ for so long. Now we know why. It's more hassle to keep all the belts than it is to just, you might as well, you know what?
And that's one podcast that we said we're going to spend the whole podcast.
You know what? It's funny. You know what? That's probably the best argument for Deontay Wilder. It's too much stress to have all them damn belts. I'll just keep the WBC. I gotta worry about one. You bodies are crazy. You mean to tell me I could collect?
It's got to take the fighters to make a stand, so that these belts don't cause situations.
It's ridiculous.
What I don't understand about AJ.
Why can't they just pick the same mandatory? And that's the problem. When you win the belt, they should all just pick the same mandatory. It don't make any sense. So you mean to tell me, if Wilder becomes undisputed, now the WBC's telling him he got to fight this guy. The IBF's telling him he got to fight that guy. The WBO's telling him he got to fight that guy.
We all don't have the same number one contender. We all ain't watching the same fight.
Right? Like, they all have different
watching the same
mandatories.
fight.
But if the champ who has multiple belts fights one of those mandatories, that mandatory walks away with all his belts, crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, y'all figure this out and y'all create one mandatory.
Exactly.
That's
If you want to take all my belts, y'all better
Exactly.
figure that out,
If I gotta pay a sanctioning fee for all these
that's what I'm
belts,
saying.
for every fight that I have, and I can lose every single one of these belts, but you guys can make me fight different mandatory. It's ridiculous. It's like, what's the point in being undisputed? In many ways, Wilder probably saved himself a lot of stress just worried about the green belt.
Exactly.
Because the more belts, more problems.
That's what we're gonna name. That's what we're gonna name our podcast that we dedicate to this belt problem. More belts,
More problems, like,
You know
for
what
real.
I'm saying?
Now we can't even blame Fury for giving up all those belts that he won.
That Fury didn't quit because of boxing. He quit when he all the mandatories. Soon as Fury got on belts, they were like, "You got to fight 3 guys in 1 week."
When he got that receipt for holding all the belts, he was like, "Hey, I don't even want it. It costs more."
I'm the lineal. Fury said, "Take these damn belts."
It costs more to have them.
Fury said, "I'm good with lineal. I'm the lineal champ."
Lineal's free,
Okay?
right? Yeah.
You ain't the real champ until you beat me. And I ain't got to pay no sanctioning fees for this. I'm the lineal champ. All right, so the last topic we're going to discuss is Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. He's the only fighter to be champion, legitimate champion, not alphabet soup champion, but the man champion in 4 decades. The 1990s, the 2000s, 2010, and now in 2020. Trill, what's your thoughts on my man Pac-Man?
Pac-Man Pacquiao is well deserving of the fighter of the decades. Being a champion in 4 decades, listen, they should have a special on TV right now. PBC's dropping the ball right now. You know what I'm saying?
Boxing bros, we need to go into business.
Yeah.
I need to get mine, man.
Yo,
Because I feel like Timothy Bradley. I feel like Timothy Bradley.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, because this is something that needs to be celebrated. This ain't something that happens all the time. And when things don't, this is where I said before, is we got to start giving these warriors their flowers while they're alive.
Yep.
Because we tend to want to talk about how great they are. Like when we noticed that with Sweet Pea. But Sweet Pea died homeless and with an addiction, and you know what I'm saying, with people not checking on him. But as soon as he died, we wanted to say how he was one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? So let's give these the champions, these warriors that we praise, their accolades while they can still smell the roses. Give them their roses while they can still smell them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all for it, and I think that this was great. Kaden came up with this idea, like, he has been champion for 4 decades, and I said, you know what, we gotta salute him for that, because this is a marvelous feat.
G?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Manny 2020 perfect vision Pacquiao. Salute to this man. I will say this: he's proven that boxing isn't a young man's sport. You know, like he's defied. Because I honestly thought Keith Thurman's gonna just dead him. I was like, he's younger, he's bigger. There's no way Manny Pacquiao's gonna do anything, and he proved me wrong. You know, and so this is to me like I liked what Katie said during the video about arguably. He's in the running for GOAT status, you know, and so I feel if he fights one more top contender in 2020, and if he wins, he got my vote, you know, because at this age, this is crazy to maintain this level of opposition and still be winning. Yo, man, you are the greatest.
Listen, the fact that he's holding the belt right now in 2020. I think he can ride off in the sunset.
Exactly. He's already right now.
He's all-time great already.
Yeah, already. But this is like, I'm just gonna rub it in your face at this point. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping like, yo, Floyd, come on, man, get back in the game. You know what I mean? They talking about.
I don't even want to see.
You need to be the GOAT. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it's looking like Pacquiao got the formula.
Well, here's another thing too. I also want to mention too. There could be more than one GOAT. There could be there could be more than one GOAT because you could be a GOAT for different reasons.
Oh yeah, all right.
Like we already talked about that. Like Muhammad Ali, he's a GOAT in boxing, but he's a GOAT for other reasons. Like Floyd, he's a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But he's a GOAT for different reasons. Manny Pacquiao is a GOAT. He's a GOAT for many other reasons. Like things that Katie brought to my attention. Him being young when he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao, his battles started way before, you know what I'm saying? He started his battle with hunger and poverty, real hunger and poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like we came from the mud, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, we came from welfare, food stamps, scared to, you know, go in the store where everybody was in the store because we had to pay for food stamps, wait for people to leave to go in with the food stamps. Pacquiao
And then years later, we found out they had the same food stamps we had.
Pacquiao came from actual money.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then, it came to the point where then you look at Pacquiao where they didn't even have those over there. He was fighting for bowls of rice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really dealing with poverty on another level. So him overcoming all that to become who he is now, listen, he is a GOAT.
Yeah, so growing up a lifetime fan of boxing, the one thing I can say I appreciate about Manny Pacquiao the most is his events always took place when they were supposed to. He always made weight, and he always stepped in the ring and gave it his all. He never cheated the fan. He never cheated us. And Manny Pacquiao was a part of so many huge fights that I watched. I mean, I remember watching so many Manny Pacquiao fights, and from Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya. I watched Manny Pacquiao, Joshua Clottey. I watched Manny Pacquiao, Margarito. Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. Manny Pacquiao, Ricky Hatton. I mean, I can keep going on and on. Pacquiao, Mosley. I watched every Pacquiao fight after the De La Hoya fight. And I would never miss a Pacquiao fight. And it was always a big event. And he always showed up and he always did his thing. And that's even being one of the biggest pop stars in the Philippines. One of the biggest movie stars in the Philippines. Being a senator in the Philippines, a philanthropist. Even with all Manny Pacquiao had going on, he never cheated the sport. Which is more than I can say about a lot of the fighters currently fighting today. They have so little that they have to worry about other than just coming in shape, making weight, and putting on great performances. And you still see fighters missing weight. You still see fighters quitting in the ring. You still see certain things. Even when Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez, I still respect Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao had the courage to go in there and get knocked out. And Manny Pacquiao got up and still went on to fight and become champion again.
And wanted to fight him again.
Exactly. Champion in 4 different decades. Because Manny Pacquiao's been knocked down before. He lost when he was 16. Lost when he was 17, could have quit, but he said, nah. They threw him in there in a championship fight. To be the opponent, he took that title. Manny Pacquiao went on to fight many legendary fights in which he was undersized, people had weight advantages, and Manny Pacquiao still came out the victor. So when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, all-time great. Trill pointed it out. If you said to me Manny Pacquiao is the greatest of all time, I wouldn't look at you like you was boo-boo the fool. I'd be like, there's an argument for that. And so for that reason, I'm just grateful that I get to enjoy greatness. I don't know if 2020 will be the last year of Manny Pacquiao's career, but I can promise you this. I'm going to watch every Manny Pacquiao fight like I always did, and I know this. He's not going to short me. That's what I know.
Definitely not.
All right. So that concludes the Boxing Bros podcast. We want to say, Ned the cameraman, you on our mind. Our thoughts, our prayers are with you.
Get better soon, buddy. Get better soon, man. We miss you over here at Boxing Bros, man.
Listen, man, the claps aren't the same without you.
Yo, and shout out to you, the people that's listening right now. We really appreciate you from the heart, man. All three of us, we're just guys who love boxing. We really love this sport, and we're just giving you our opinion on the sport. We're not no experts. We never said to claim to be no experts. It's just three guys who really love this sport, and we thank you for, just blessing us with your time. You know what I'm saying? We're really grateful and we're appreciative of that. Boxing Bros signing out. You can reach us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's the Boxing Bros.